Hello and welcome to Headline News with our top stories this week, just in case you missed it. My name is Ernest UK. In Nigerian politics today, intriguing events are unfolding in the Senate House as the Senate President, Senator Bukola Saraki, has defected from the All Progressive Congress back to PDP. The Nigerian Guardian reports that the Senate President Bukola Saraki on Tuesday defected from the All Progressive Congress to PDP. He announced his defection from the ruling All Progressive Congress APC to the People's Democratic Party PDP on Tuesday evening. He made the announcement on his Twitter handle at Bukola Saraki on the evening of Tuesday, where he informed Nigerians saying he has formally left the All Progressive Congress back to PDP. In his statement, he said, "I wish to inform Nigerians that after extensive consultations, I have decided to take my leave of the All Progressive Congress APC back to People's Democratic Party PDP." The announcement was immediately followed by a very comprehensive statement signed by Saraki, in which he explained the circumstances leading to his defection, which he said was not a decision that he had made lightly. He went on to say that if anything at all, I have tarried for so long and did all that was humanly possible, even in the face of great provocation, ridicule, and flagrant persecution, to give opportunity for peace, reconciliation, and harmonious existence of the All Progressive Congress APC. Perhaps more significantly, I am mindful of the fact that I carry on my shoulder a great responsibility for thousands of my supporters and friends who have trusted in my leadership and have attached their political fortunes to mine. With Saraki's defection yesterday, the PDP now maintains a slight majority in the upper chambers, a situation that further jeopardizes the chances of All Progressive Congress APC, particularly in having its way in the Senate House. Also on Tuesday, Governor Ahmed Abdul Fattah of Kwara State defected to the People's Democratic Party PDP. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party PDP has welcomed Saraki, Abdul Fattah, and the Nigerian ambassador to South Africa, Alhaji Ahmed Ibeto, back to PDP. The party said the coming of Saraki and others could not have been at a better time than now, when the nation requires the input of genuine patriots and would save Nigeria from an impending decline. Shortly after Saraki moved, at least 23 members of the Kwara State National Assembly have also left the All Progressive Congress APC back to PDP. The Nigerian Guardian reports that APC spokesperson Bolaji Abdullahi have also finally leaves the APC. Abdullahi, who is the National Publicity Secretary of the ruling All Progressive Congress, announces his resignation hours just after denying his exit from the party. He said in his statement that in the last few days I have had to endure the flagrant usurpation of my role as a spokesman of the party in a manner that I consider unbefitting of a ruling party and inconsistent with my ethical standards. However, APC does seem to be shaking as thousands of people are joining the All Progressive Congress APC, even as Senate President Bukola Saraki and Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed of Kwara State announces their departure. Governor Rochas Okorocha of Imo State, who is also the chairman of the All Progressive Congress Governors Forum, made this known in Abuja on Tuesday, that after a meeting with the party chairman Adams Oshomole, Saraki's departure would not in any way dent the APC electoral fortunes in 2019. Still on development news this week, EFCC arrested Deputy Senate President Ike Kurumadu over alleged corruption case. The Deputy Senate President Ike Kurumadu, who was on Tuesday arrested and grilled by the operatives of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission (EFCC) at the Abuja head office of the anti-graft body over alleged corruption practice. Kurumadu, who had on July 24 this year failed to honor the summons from the EFCC, was arrested and detained on Tuesday over alleged graft. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission (EFCC) is seeking clarification from him on some allegation bordering on corruption while in office. So far, no confirmation has been made by the anti-graft agency whether or not the Deputy Senate has been cleared of the allegations. And from Zimbabwe politics, parliamentary election held on Tuesday, opposition party is still fighting to accept defeat as the ruling party has won the elections. Zimbabwe ruling party ZANU-PF party has won the most seats in the parliament. Official result shows that the ruling party won the elections with 110 parliament seats as the counts continue in the presidential race. The opposition party MDC are alleging widespread fraud over the election, saying the results are being faked by the commission. Meanwhile, the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission ZAC announced that ZANU-PF has won 110 seats while the MDC alliance got 41 seats. This will be the first voting since Robert Mugabe was ousted after 37 years in power. When we return, we'll be talking about business news. Stay tuned. My name is Ernest. From Nigerian business, we see this week, Nigerian crude oil production is expected to rise by 180,000 barrels per day next year. The Nigerian crude oil production is expected to rise further if Royal Dutch Shell and its partner decide whether to go ahead with the development of the nation's Bonga Southwest offshore oil field next year. A senior company official said on Tuesday that the project, which is one of the country's largest with an expected production of 180,000 barrels per day, will generate profit at below $50 per barrel. Managing Director of Shell Nigerian Exploration and Production Company, SNEPCO, Bayo Ojuli, told reporters that Shell is currently negotiating a production sharing contract with the Nigerian government, which will determine the viability of the project in 2019. Reuters has quoted him saying that the negotiations are expected to finish this year so they can commence production next year. Shell is currently operating projects like ExxonMobil, Total, Eni, and the Nigerian Petroleum Corporation (NNPC). Nigerian oil's output has risen by 50,000 per barrel in July, helped by the return of Shell Bonylite crude grades. Nigerian oil exports were expected to drop to their 2018 low in July to just 1.43 million barrels following the closure, compared to 1.796 million barrels in June. However, with production bouncing back, the country's performance helped OPEC reach a 2018 peak oil production of 32.64 million barrels per day in July. The Minister of State for Petroleum, Dr. Ibe Kachuku, had in June this year directed the NNPC and SNEPCO to commence the tendering process for the execution of the $10 billion Bonga Southwest Afro Deep Water Project. And Nigerian economy, we see that Nigerian naira is gaining strength over dollar, euro, and British pound. When we get back, we will talk about that in a moment. Nigerian economy, the Nigerian naira has appreciated against the American dollar at para market this week. The local currency also appreciated against British pound and European euro. The naira closed at 3.59 to a dollar, while the British pound and the euro traded at 4.78 and 4.17 respectively. The Nigerian naira on Wednesday, August 1st, appreciated at the para exchange market sector after its steady appreciation was halted. The local currency has gained 1 point against the greenback to close the day at 3.59 to a dollar, also appreciated to 4.98 for a British pound, rated with 4.17 to European euro. Meanwhile, expectations are high on the federal government to make sure that Nigerian naira keeps its strength over the US dollar and other foreign currency. When we return, we'll look at other top stories. Expectations are high on the federal government as Calabar Port became idle with shallow water channels. The Nigerian Port Authority (NPA) the Calabar Port Channel to diversify availability of infrastructures and reduce excessive pressure from the ever-busy Lagos port, while saving huge revenue and losses in Nigeria. Dredging the channel has remained a challenge and an uphill task for successive administration for decades, although past administration and management of the NPA had made many promises coupled with several contracts awarded for the project to be commenced. But operators, importers and other stakeholders appear to wait almost endlessly for this reality to come to the Calabar Port. Calabar Port, along with its peer in Port Harcourt, Warri and One, are the gateway for sea trade in the southeastern Nigeria and the south-south particularly. The port is not only designed to serve the south-south and southeast regions, but also other neighboring countries like Chad, Niger, and Cameroon. Draft approach of the Calabar Channel is measured at 6.4 meters at its high tide and 5.4 meters at low tide, whereas the concession agreement stipulated that the federal government would take the draft to 9.5 meters last 4 years. However, the Bureau of Public Enterprise (BPE) had assured that this will be achieved on start of business, but the situation remains the same since 2006 when the concession program took effect. This, however, is weighed down by shallow water channels, port roads and other factors that the port has failed to meet stakeholders' expectations in the maritime industry and the country at large. We're talking about America and the United States government. Donald Trump has come out giving the international levy to Chinese products in America. This will come in a short while. US President Donald Trump is considering a 25% tariff on $200 billion Chinese import, more than the 10% previously touted. Reports say that on Tuesday, the US imposes 25% tariff on $34 billion of Chinese products earlier this month, with plans to add another $16 billion of imports on Tuesday. This is coming after Donald Trump have begun to raise eyebrows about the exchange and export-import business trade with China since he assumed office. Trump initially threatens to levy 10% on an additional $200 billion, but that figure may not rise to 25%, so to the Washington Post and Bloomberg. It will represent a ramping up of pressure over Washington trade standoff with Beijing. Markets were, however, steady on Tuesday, given a boost by hope for new negotiations since 2017. But the United States had $376 billion trade deficit with China, which is keen to cut off, and Donald Trump is looking at ways to make sure that deficit is being cut off, and he is bringing off levy and tariff draft against the Chinese import-export production in the United States of America. Trump recently threatens to slap punitive tariffs on all Chinese imports, which accounted for more than $500 billion last year. And in the capital markets, Tokyo is struggling to maintain gain over its trade this week. And in capital market, we see Tokyo stock rallied on Wednesday with investors cheered by positive earnings from major firms as they digested the Bank of Japan's tweak to its ultra-losses monetary policy. Investors had been concerned about a possible increase in interest rate, but they were relieved to confirm that it is not the case this time. A broker at Iwa Cosmo Securities said that the market is largely looking positive this week. Japan's central bank on Tuesday revised down inflation forecast, making only small tweaks to a monetary policy that has so far fallen short of the rising price and boosting the world's third largest economy. Tokyo shares advanced further in afternoon trade as the yuan slid against the US dollar. The yuan's weakness is a tailwind for Japan's exporters and importers. A senior technical analyst at Dow Securities said the dollar fetched 112 to 0.3 yuan in Asia afternoon trade, compared with 111.81 yen in New York late Tuesday and 111.05 yen in Tokyo on Monday. Several Japanese firms reported strong profit after Tuesday closing bell, attracting buyers on Wednesday this week. Investors are also buying shares of firms showing strong earnings in Tokyo, Japan. Corporate results announced by Japanese firms so far are quite positive on the whole. And that was our capital market news. When we return, we'll talk about headline news in Discussed. Thank you. My name is Ernest UK.